To begin the practice with, I invite you to start lying down. We won't need anything in particular this morning. So if you're usually using a block or something like that, you might want to grab that. If you've got things that you like for relaxation, they might be nice to have ready. Otherwise, just lying yourselves down and becoming comfortable. So that's our starting position, lying down on the back. Cushioning yourself up if you need to, or whatever else it might be that is required. As usual, please do take good care of yourself. Whatever I might suggest could be fantastic, but it might not be working for you. So do take into consideration that we're all in different bodies and that we feel differently each time we come to the mat. Which also leads me into the card that came up for this practice. It's from the Law of Attraction deck today. And it says, I am not here to create sameness. Nor are we the same. And it might be nice to take a moment and just focus on that and what it might mean to you. So while you're lying down on your back, taking a moment to reflect on, I am not here to create sameness. Maybe this card is about you feeling different. Maybe this card is about your unique gift. Maybe even your own life's purpose. And whatever you will now begin to notice within your physical body could be different to last time you came to the mat, or even to yesterday. I am asking you to pay attention to all that there is. Although we have 2 legs and 2 arms, one is different to the other side. So you might even find differences within yourself. Embracing that you find before you're allowing your mind to dive a little bit deeper, to go into the state of your emotions. Your feelings. And all thoughts currently present. If there was something that you decided to just push away, reconsider. I'm asking you to embrace yourself as you are right now, with all that there is. Allowing yourself now to turn the awareness to your breathing. Noticing how the breath is flowing without changing it. And as you notice, start to deepen your breathing without a pattern, just deepening your breathing. And notice how that makes you feel and if that creates any change within you. Your breath flowing in and out of your nose. The body beginning to move more as you breathe more deeply. And although you might have the impression that each breath now is like the other, maybe it has a similar length, it is still different. And each breath is worth experiencing as you keep your awareness with the flow of your breath. I will ask you to take a deep breath in now and then pause the breath at the top of your inhalation. Hold it for as long as is comfortable for you and then breathe out in a slow, controlled, steady way. We'll do that again. Breathing in deeply and fully, filling up your lungs, expanding into the body and holding the breath at the top of the inhalation, just keeping it in. And when you need to release it, do so with control, a slow, steady pace. Repeat that same breath 3 more times, noticing that it's never the same, that there might be different thoughts coming along with the breath, that you're holding for different lengths. And maybe that you're feeling different at the end of each of those breaths. When you have completed, return to a natural but slightly deeper flow of breath. Keeping this deeper flow of breath, or if you like, you can change it to full yogi or even ujjayi breath for the practice. Please do notice the techniques that you are using during the practice as much as those when you are in stillness in the physical body. Although I often encourage you to use full yogi or ujjayi breath, it might not be suitable on every day. Let's have a stretch. Reach out long. Breathing in and breathing out as you're releasing. Allowing yourself to do the opposite as you bring your knees into the chest and breathing out to give the knees a good squeeze in. Allow the arms to open out while you're inhaling, keeping the knees loosely over the chest and beginning to rock your knees from side to side. Don't force it, just come straight into a flowing movement where everything seems to just occur in the body. So ideally your arms are out wide and your knees are moving from side to side, getting a twist into the spine. Now, if you like, you can take these twists deeper when it feels right, but there's no obligation to go down this way. Then bring your knees back in towards the chest. Give them again another squeeze in on an out breath. And then either you're rolling over to your side quite comfortably, rising to sit, or you're rocking a few times forward and back and coming up to sit that way. If you prefer, you can sit on a block or a rolled up mat. Otherwise, just sitting here as you are. We will prepare our body for a few movements. So to begin with, let's lift the arms out in front at shoulder height, relaxing the shoulders down. Now, as you're breathing in, reach one arm forward. And as you're breathing out, open your arms into a twist. We'll come back to the front and relax the shoulders again. Reach the other arm forward. As you're breathing in, you can lean forward here too. And as you're breathing out, open the arms into a twist. Let's come back to the front and using the exhalation to drop your shoulders. We'll repeat that once more to each side. So as you inhale, reach forward as if there's something you want. And as you're breathing out, coming into a twist. Breathing in, come forward, relax your shoulders on the out breath. And once more on the other side, inhale, reach to the front. And exhaling for a twist. As you breathe in, bring your arms back forward. And as you're breathing out, relaxing the arms. Let's take a breath in and reach the arms all the way up. And as you're breathing out, folding forward. So your hands might come to your thighs, onto the floor. You might fold all the way, you might fold just a little. Please, again, feel into your body what is right. And I've just started a gentle rocking from side to side to help me ease into the pose. And you're welcome to do the same. And let's walk the hands back up towards the feet. Take another deep breath in, stretch your arms up, open your front body. And as you're breathing out, let your hands come behind you. You can rest down onto the palms flat with the fingers pointing forward, or you could come up onto fists. Your choice here to just squeeze the shoulder blades, lift through the heart, and either keep the gaze forward or guiding the head back. If this feels okay for you, uncross your legs, feet down, hip distance, squeeze the buttocks and lift the hips up for a tabletop. We'll slowly land again if the hips were lifted. As you're lifting the upper body, changing the cross of your legs. Taking a breath in as you bring the arms forward. Breathe out to relax your shoulders down. We'll go into the twist again. As you inhale, stretch with one arm forward. And as you're breathing out, open into a twist. Inhale, arms to the front, and exhale to relax your shoulders. Once again on the other side, breathe in, reach your arm forward. Breathe out, come into a twist. Inhale, bring the arms forward. And exhale to release your hands. Let's inhale, reach the arms out and up, open through the front of your body. And as you're exhaling, fold it forward. Again, hands on the thighs is fine, or you can go deeper if that works for you. And allowing yourself to sink in a bit more. Then walking the hands back in and up towards the body. Breathe in and lift the arms and the gaze once again. And as you're breathing out, circle the arms behind you. Hands down flat or fists to the floor. Squeezing through the shoulder blades as you're opening your chest. maybe lifting the head and guiding it backwards. And if you want to take it deeper, separate your feet down to a hip distance and lift your hips off the ground, squeezing the buttocks into tabletop. Hold, open chest or tabletop. And then gently landing if your hips were lifted. Swinging your feet over to the sides and finding your way up into a standing position. So as you come to stand, take your feet at a good hip distance apart, maybe a tad bit wider. Take a breath in and lift your arms out to the front. And as you're breathing out, sit back into a chair pose. So your legs are a bit wider than your usual chair pose, nice and comfortable stands. Then place your hands down on top of the thighs. I like my fingers to be pointing inwards, but that's just my preference. Press some weight into the thighs and lift all 10 toes off the ground. Keeping your sit bones wide open, but beginning to engage the lower abdomen. And then spreading your toes down onto the floor. As you come to ground yourself now through the whole feet, allow the weight to slightly shift forward within your feet. Keep your firm stance on your hands and breathe in to lift your tail and your gaze. And as you're breathing out, then round slowly into the back and finally lower the head. But keep your knees and hips in the same bend. Inhaling, tailbone is rising, chest is opening. And a breath out as you begin to round into your back, lowering the head. Repeat this for 3 more rounds, lifting through the tail and opening the body to the front. And on a long out breath, rounding into your back. And use your hands on your thighs to really ground all the way down from the hands into the legs, into the feet. I will invite you after your last one to stay in a rounded position, to release the pressure from your hands and to let your hands slide down the legs to wherever they can get, allowing the whole upper body to surrender down into a forward fold. At first, we're bringing your awareness into the feet again, feeling yourself grounded. Maybe you're leaning backward slightly, maybe you're leaning forward slightly. And then do deliberately the opposite as you breathe out. And then deciding which one is yours today. I usually ask you to lean forward, just simply because that lifts the tailbone. But for now, do what feels right, leaning to the heels or leaning towards the toes. Allowing your hands to catch the opposite elbow. And while you're staying there, you either just stay and be heavy, or you're beginning to sway the upper body from side to side. Again, just noticing what's right for you in this moment. And then engaging your core as you drop your hands back to the floor and waiting for the elbows to curl up slowly into standing. Lift the shoulders, roll them back and down and soften into the knees. And I'll ask you to do a few more of those. Lift the shoulders, straightening the legs. And then as you roll down, you're softening into the knees. So even a bend into the knees. As you breathe in, straighten the legs, roll the shoulders up. And as you're exhaling, bend the knees and roll them down. Do that one more time. You might widen your stance a little bit more, yet still. And I invite you into some gentle belly dancing as you begin to move your hips. Keep your knees soft or even in a deeper bend, and see if you can isolate the movement in the hips. You can rest your hands on the hips, or you can flow the arms a bit, just circling out through the hips. Pause it and change the direction. So trying to loosen up a little bit further. As we pause this movement, stepping your feet a little bit closer, lifting one foot off the floor, and now we're circling through the ankle or circling the foot. Changing the direction of that. And then let's bend the knee and circle the knee outwards. Then inwards. And finally, give the leg a shake before you're landing it again. Let's change sides, circling through the other foot. Changing direction. As you let go of the movement, bend the knee and start to circle the hip outwards. Then inwards. And finally, give the leg a shake. Standing again on both of your feet. We'll start a push and pull action. So I will ask you to bend your elbows, bring them loosely into the sides while you're facing the palms towards each other. Focusing for a moment onto the stance. Have you locked your knees? If you have, unlock them. So pelvis, torso are in an easy position. When you're breathing out, and I'm not telling you which side to do first, your preference. Pushing one hand forward, the palm facing away from you, turning the other palm up at the same time, and pull your elbow back behind you. So while you're breathing in, palms facing, and then we change sides. One hand pushes forward, the other one points up, and the elbows pulling backwards. So we're breathing in, the palms are facing. We're breathing out, one pushes forward, one's facing upward and pulls back. Inhaling center. Exhaling, push and pull. So allowing the upper body to move with it, but keeping the pelvis steady and your gaze true as you're breathing out, push and pull. When you inhale, palms gently facing. Using your full yogi or ujjayi breath if that's within your practice. And you might want to think of what you're pulling in and what you're pushing away. Last one until you're balanced. When you're balanced, release the arms. Taking a deep breath to extend. And a breath out to fold forward, knees soft. Inhaling for a half lift. And breathing out to step your left foot back. Taking your toes into the corners of the mat and curling up into standing. So we've got a wide stance now, the toes pointing out towards the corners of the mat. And I invite you to bring your left arm behind your back, just gently resting it there comfortably. Taking your right arm into the direction of your toes, the palm of the hand is facing downwards. We'll bring a bend into the right knee. Now, as you breathe in, reach forward into this arm. And as you're breathing out, scoop the arm across the floor, change the legs. As you breathe in, lift your torso, looking into the palm of this hand. And as you're breathing out, bring it across again to the other side. Left arm gently stays behind the back, nothing changes here. So we're breathing in, reaching forward with the right arm. And when breathing out, scooping along the floor. And as you're breathing in, lifting the torso again. And when you're breathing out, moving the hand across the body. We'll do that again. Inhale, reach. Exhale, scoop. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come across again. 2 more. Breathing in, keep your gaze at your hand. Breathing out to scoop. Inhale to lift. Exhale to cross over. Once again, breathe in, reach to your right. Exhale, scoop. Inhale, lift. And exhale, return. Now I'll ask you to turn the right toes further out, the left heel in the opposite direction, and to extend your left arm now for a warrior 2. Notice if the palms facing down is stressful, and don't hesitate in that case to turn the palms upwards. From here, lift your back heel and take a breath in to reach your arms up for a high lunge. And on the out breath, placing the hands down. You could lower your knees to the mat or step straight back into a downward facing dog. On a breath in now, roll the spine forward. Come into plank or kneeling plank. And on the out breath, lowering down onto the mat. We'll go into striking cobra. So place your hands a bit further apart than your mat is and just the fingertips onto the floor. Tops of the feet are on the ground. On an in-breath, wave up through the spine, lift your heart, and then soften into elbows and shoulders while holding. Feet grounding, glutes on. And on an out-breath, drop your right shoulder into the center, looking to your left elbow. On the in-breath, center yourself. And then repeat with the left shoulder, looking to the right elbow. Inhale, center yourself. And exhale to release onto the mat. Hands landing by the sides of the ribs. In-breath, come to all fours. And when you're breathing out, sit back to the heels for an extended child's pose. Keep this child's pose very extended. So as if the hands were glued there to the floor and it was hard to even reach back towards the heels, feeling the length in the left and the right side of the body. Breathing into all fours. Tuck your toes under and exhaling for down dog. Now, of course, is the alternative an all four stance if the down dog is too strong. Now, I invite you to move this dog as it's the first one that we're holding. So maybe walking out through your legs, moving the hips, arms, neck. Finding yourself then centered. As you take a breath in, drop both knees down onto the floor and extend your left leg out to the side. As your left leg is out, turn the toes the way you're facing and walk the hands up to your knee, preparing for a gate pose. Take a deep breath in and open your arms out wide to the sides. Turn the palms upwards. And as you're breathing out, lean over towards your left leg with the right arm reaching over the head. Your choice to look down or to have a light chin tuck and look up instead. Allow a few breaths where you might even close your eyes, feeling into the opportunity of bringing length or further length into the right side of your body. As your next inhale, lift your left arm, so both arms high. And as you're breathing out, bring the hands back down to the mat. Your knees back underneath the hips. On a breath in, tuck the toes under. And on a breath out, return into down dog. Lifting the left leg up, breathing in. On the out breath, bring your knee in towards the nose, round your back. We'll repeat that. Inhaling, extend the leg, hips parallel. Exhale, knee into the chest. And one more, breathing in. And as you're breathing out, keep the knee forward, landing your foot in between your hands. Soften into your back knee. And roll up into standing. Lifting the arms out just in front and bringing the elbows into the sides of the waist. Now we'll go back to the push and pull action, but only on one side. So while your left foot is forward, the right arm will push to the front and the left hand will pull back. So as you're breathing in, push the right arm forward, left hand pulling back, and you can follow that with your gaze now. Inhale, hands facing. Right forward, left arm pulling back. Inhale, center. We'll go for 3 more. Push, pull to twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, push and pull. Last one, and I invite you in this last one to pause. To pause and to extend the whole left arm backwards and extend all the way into the fingertips. Now, if this suits and the left arm could instead be in the side of the waist, breathe out and lower your fingertips to the ground for a deep twisted lunge. From here, bend your back knee, swing your arm down onto the mat and step the foot forward. Inhaling for a half lift, exhaling to fold. Stay here, breathe in. Lower belly on and exhaling to roll up into standing. Lift the shoulders as you inhale, roll them down and soften into the knees as you let the energy drop back down into your feet. Breathing in, lift the arms, extending the whole body. As you're breathing out, soft knees folding forward. Inhaling to half lift. And exhaling to step the right foot back. Lower it all the way to the ground. Take the hands into the center. Turn your toes out into the corners of the mat. And take your time again to roll up into standing. Now we will repeat this scooping the earth action again, this time on the other side. The right arm wraps behind the back and you just let it rest there on the lower back where it's comfortable. Left arm is extending out at shoulder height in the direction of the left toes. We're bringing a bend into the left knee and the palm of the hand to start with will be facing downwards. On a breath in, just reach into the left hand. And when you're breathing out, begin to scoop across the ground. As you breathe in, lift your torso, palm is facing up. And as you're breathing out, bring the hand across the body back into your starting position. We're breathing in to reach away. We're breathing out to scoop across the earth. We're inhaling to lift through the torso. And we're breathing out to bring the hand across, palm facing down again. Breathe in to reach. Breathing out to scoop. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to extend again. 2 more. Keep your gaze at your hand. Inhale, reach. Exhale, scoop. Inhale, lift. And exhale to the start. 1 more. Breathing in. Reach across. Exhale to scoop. Inhale to lift. And exhaling to extend. Now that your drishti is over there, just turn the toes out in that same direction a bit further. The heel of the other foot goes in the opposite direction, and you might extend the right arm backwards to Warrior Two. Your choice here to stay or to turn the palms upwards, maybe for some softness into the shoulders. Let's take a breath from here. Lift through the back heel, reaching your arms upwards. And on a breath out, bringing the hands to the mat. Step back to down dog or all fours. Inhaling, come forward into a plank or kneeling plank. And breathe out to lower. You can choose between normal or lie down cobra. Take a breath in, lift into it, and hold as you're exhaling. 1 more breath within your cobra. Then breathe in once again. And when you're exhaling the next time, lower the body down. Hands by the sides, lifting up onto all fours, either to stay there or to extend into a down dog. Your choice of moving this one again or finding some steadiness in it. So if you're aiming for steadiness, think about the natural curve of your back. And for that, you might allow that subtle bend in your knees so the tailbone's nice and high, but then also to bring the softness back and the openness around your shoulders. Next breath in, bring both knees down onto the mat and extend your right leg out to the side, turning the toes to face forward. Walk your hands back up towards your knee as you come up. And then on a breath in, open the arms out wide, turning the palms of the hands upwards. And when you're exhaling, tilt towards the side into gate pose. So your gaze might be down, or if it is up, have a light chin tuck just so the neck is safe and engaged. If you feel comfortable and balanced there, you could close the eyes and just thinking about the extension that you might find in your left side. Using each breath to deepen. When you're next inhaling, lift the right arm to meet the left. Bring your knees back down onto the ground. And an out breath to bring your hands down in front of your heart. Now we've twisted a few times. I will ask you to take a breath in and reach your right arm up. A breath out as you circle it behind into the lower back. So we've got a light twist here to the right. We will inhale from here, lifting the left hand. And on the out breath, we'll repeat that, placing the left hand into the lower back as we've got a light twist towards the left. As you now inhale, center the head, lift through the sternum, head guided carefully back only if your neck allows. Squeeze a little bit into the buttocks muscles. Keep that sense of lifting through the sternum. And some of you might want to reach down towards the heels to a full camel pose. Perfectly fine to keep it a supported one. Lifting through the heart, no matter which variation. Last breath in here. And then slowly hands back into the lower back. Head is lifting. And we're releasing carefully the hips down towards the heels. Sliding the hands forward into an extended child's pose. Now I invite you to keep that child's pose active, so the forearms off the ground. Your fingers spread out wide, and the shoulders are in more or less the same position as they were in the down dog. They're relaxed in their sockets, so as if the armpits could see each other. When you're next breathing in, lifting to all fours once more. This time we will place the forearms down onto the ground. You can choose your hands down flat or interlace them comfortably. Tucking your toes under and then stretching your hips up and back for a baby dolphin pose. So ideally your head would be just off the ground and feeling quite light here. Your choice to extend this is to lift the knees off the ground and come into a full dolphin pose. The same here, the head is off the ground, feel it light, maybe shake the head for a no and for a yes, and keep the head floating. We will use this baby or full dolphin as our inversion for today's practice. So perfectly understandable that you might want to hold it still. Please do so. There's no obligation to move here. If you want some more strength instead, take a breath in, push forward on your toes, get your head over your hands or even beyond. And then breathe out and lift the hips again to return to your dolphin. And if that is you, I invite you to repeat as you breathe in to move forward and breathing out to come back. If you're engaged into the movement, repeat for 3 more. Otherwise, you're still welcome to simply hold. At the end of your movements or your hold, will you allow your knees to come to the ground again, to untuck the toes and either stay in extended child's pose or let your arms wrap around the sides of the body and the head lower to the floor. Stay and breathe quite deeply, and if you've forgotten about the breath, challenge it a little bit. Then let's extend the arms again to the front of the mat, inhaling all fours. Toes tuck under, your choice to stay or downward facing dog. Find your down dog, settle into it. As you next inhale, lifting the right leg, hips are parallel, toes facing to the floor. And on the out breath, bring your knee into the chest, rounding your upper back. Inhaling, extend. Exhaling to bring it in. One more, breathing in, extending, and exhaling to bring it in. And this time to land the foot forward. Now, once you're in your lunge stance, bend the left knee, curl yourself up into standing and release. We will lift the arms softly in front, bringing the elbows to bend so they're by our sides and the palms are facing each other. Repeating the push and pull. This time the left arm will move forward repetitively and the right arm backwards. So on the out breath, push forward, pull back with the right arm, maybe follow that with your gaze. Inhale, center yourself. Exhaling, push and pull. There's 3 more, no need to rush. Keep this a slow movement, very deliberate. And there's an invitation to hold the last one. Once you're in your hold, you could extend the right arm fully and then also point your left hand fingertips forward instead. So in a tall twisted lunge. And if that feels right, tilt it forward and reach your left hand fingertips to the ground for a deeper twisted lunge. From there, swing your arm back and down and step the foot to the front. Inhaling, half lift. Exhaling to fold. Wait for the next out breath. Use your lower abs and curl up slowly into standing. Take a breath in, lift your shoulders. And then as you roll them down, soften into the knees and let the energy arrive back down in your feet. And that's where we will need it now for a balance. If any of you feel like having a play with a bird of paradise, you will come with me. If you feel this is too much, and I will keep a gentle option in mind as well. If you feel it's too much, you might want to do a tree pose, lifting your left leg. So otherwise, you will gently lean forward, slide your left hand from the inner thigh underneath. And this could be all that you want to do. You could from here just lift the leg up and you're in a variation of the bird of paradise. If you want to go deeper, reach your whole arm under, find a bind with the other hand from behind and keeping your gaze down as you're rising up. Maybe you're more lucky than me coming here to stand. So finding your variations, whether that's the tree or the bird of paradise. If you are in paradise, you might want to extend the leg out. Also only an option. And from wherever you started, we will meet everyone who was in a tree as you place your foot against your standing leg and bring your hands to the heart to release this. Lower your foot, release the arms, and find your stance in the ground again. And I just noticed I started jiggling because my energy wanted to move back down into the feet. So whatever gets your energy there is perfect. What we've done on this side, we will do with the right leg as well. So choosing between lifting it into a tree pose or leaning forward. The gentle variation, right hand from the inside of the thigh underneath it. You would then just start to lift the leg, finding your stance. Maybe you've reached all the way under your inner bind. Finding your balance, there's the option of extending the leg if we're working with bird of paradise. And then as we bend, release our binds, placing the foot ready for a tree. And we will meet with the hands at the heart. Releasing the foot and releasing the arms. Let's take a really deep breath and lengthen out the body. Big breath out for a forward bend. But from this forward bend, we will lower down to sit. I will ask you to extend your legs out wide. Now, if you prefer to have some cushioning underneath you, that's perfectly fine, such as a block or a rolled up mat. Legs are out wide and we're sitting up nice and tall. And we go back to that scooping action. So the same one, just in a seated position. Let's wrap the left arm behind us. Right arm is extending over the right leg. We're still sitting nice and tall. And as you're breathing in, reach over towards the right. Turn the hand, breathe out, scoop along the floor. Lift the torso as you're inhaling. And as you're exhaling, crossing that again. We'll do 2 more here. Inhaling to stretch to the right. Exhaling to scoop through the center. Inhaling to lift the torso. And exhaling to take your arm across. Last round. Inhale, reach to the right. Exhale to scoop. Inhale to lift. And exhale to bring the arm back across. Let's bring out the arm from behind. And as you're crossing your legs, keep the right arm leg in front, bringing your elbows back into the sides. So we will push and pull only once, and the left arm moves forward. Breathing in. Breathing out, left arm forward, right elbow pulling back into a twist. We will hold the twist, the back of the left hand goes against the leg, and either the right hand fingertips behind or the arm wrapping around for a bind. You might choose to close the eyes and rest here. Deep within your twist. Focus the movement of the spine. We will then unwind the head, then the rest of the body, and we'll slide our legs back out wide. Center yourself in your seat, nice and tall in the spine. The right arm now wraps behind the back. Left arm is extended over the left leg, and that's our gaze point for now. On the inhalation, reach over the left leg. On the exhalation, scoop across the center. On the in-breath, lift your torso. On the out-breath, take the hand across to starting point. We'll do 2 more. Inhaling, reach to your left. Exhaling to scoop. Inhaling to sit up straight. Exhaling to bring your arm across. Last round, breathe in to reach. Breathe out to scoop. Inhale to lift and exhale to cross. Let's reach the other arm out as wide. And when you're crossing your legs, the left leg is now in front of the right. Bringing your arms in and the elbows by the sides. We will take a deep breath. The right hand will move forward. Inhaling. Push and pull. Right arm forward, left arm back as you come into your twist. Taking the back of your right hand against your knee and left hand fingertips behind or wrap around for a bind. And stay within your twists. Eyes might be closed. Relax the shoulders down and feel the movement in the spine. Following the pace of your breathing. And maybe even allowing the breath to take you deeper into the twist. Bringing your head to the center as you unravel the twists. If you want to wear your jumpers again, your socks, please put them on now. And if you like to have a little bit of fun, you could rock your way down onto your back. If you prefer to keep it calm, just gently rolling down. What do I mean with rocking? We're hugging the knees in, lifting the feet off the floor, chin tucks in, you're rocking down, and you might even rock up again. And that eventually will take you onto your back as well. Allowing then the feet to land if you've chosen this way. And if you need to take a bolster under the knees or cushion yourself up, cover yourself up, that's fine. If you don't have a bolster, still want your knees to be bent, feet are a bit wider, and we're letting the knees fall in towards each other so the legs can relax and have a break as well. We'll all let the arms fall away from the body. And maybe have a couple of shoulder shrugs, so to make sure the shoulders can actually relax into the ground as well. You might then be able to close the eyes. If that's not possible, just look up towards the ceiling, finding there a steady gaze point. Allowing stillness to come into the body. Letting your mind come to rest as it might have been quite busy with the unusual arm movements. While the awareness is in the arms, consciously let go of all strength in your arms and shoulders. The neck is relaxed as the head is fully supported by the ground underneath you. Your back aligned on the mat and also held by the ground. Maybe experiencing a subtle movement of air through the nostrils and a gentle movement in the torso with your breath. You can choose to stay with this movement or take awareness into the pelvis that's also held by the floor. Down into the legs that have carried you through this practice. And into the feet that are either now touching the floor gently in support of your posture, or that have completely relaxed and rolled out to the sides. The body still, maybe a subtle movement through the breath. I am not here to create sameness. There are as many different worlds as there are perceivers, beings, or individuals. You are not here to create one world where everyone is the same, wanting and getting the same. You are here to be that which you want to be, while you allow all others to be that which they want to be. As you allow your breaths to deepen, you might want to move just gently. And all that then to take you back into a seated pose. I'd ask you to rest the backs of your hands against your knees or thighs and turn the palms to face upwards. Eyes closed or gaze steady and a tall spine. As easy as this card might have sounded to you, let it sit for a moment. You aren't here to create sameness, nor is anyone else. But how about those that live their difference and maybe expose that to the fullest? Might even be their life's purpose. Notice what type of person came to your mind. If it is one you can easily embrace, wonderful. Maybe take that as an example. If it is someone that deeply challenges you, take them as your teacher too. It might be harder to embrace this person. So as you take your next deep breath in, just reach your arms out wide. Keep the palms of the hands facing up. And take all of these people into the hands as you lift them up over your head. Bring the palms of the hands together and hug all of them right down and into your heart space. Touching gently with your thumbs to your heart space. So you include yourself and the difference that you can make in your life into this embrace. From where we will lightly bow and extend to each other. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me here this morning. I will finish with a different view and I will show you the card, because as serious as I might have gotten about it, the picture is quite funny, isn't it? Different colored chicken. Chicken have, for example, really beautiful personalities, and if you've ever had any, you would agree. They are so very different and yet playful.